Parashat Shemini, second aliyah. And the second aliyah, this is actually a continuation of the first aliyah. And we're continuing basically in this aliyah with the details of the previously mentioned korbanot that were brought by Bnei Israel. So after concluding all the korbanot, and you see Aaron, Isa Aaron, Aaron raises his hands and he blesses the nation. Aaron raises his hands, he blesses the nation, he blesses the Am with Birkat Kohanim. She adds over here from the Midrash that when Moshe Aaron, they blessed the nation, not only Aaron, but also Moshe Rabbeinu, he blessed by saying, and she quotes, V'hi Noam, quotes the Pasuk, V'hi Noam Adonai Eloheinu Aleinu, Ma'aseh Yadenu Konena Aleinu, Ma'aseh Yadenu Konenehu. Continuing with the following beracha, Yehi Ratzon, Sheteshrei Shechina, V'Ma'aseh Yedechem. Now, after they built the Mishkan, and now it's actually finally prepared for use, so now the beracha came and was asked from Hashem, that Hashem brings down His Shekhinah, Sheteshrei Shekhinah V'Ma'aseh Yedechem. It's not just a structure that was built, but it's also a structure that has a Shekhinah. Rashi in Pasuk Chav Gimel, if you look at Rashi, he writes the following. And I'm just going to read the translation, in other words, of the Hebrew words in Rashi. Rashi says like this. So for the 7 days of the Miluim, of the inauguration of the Mishkan, during which the time that Moshe set up the Mishkan, he was performing the Avodah in the Mishkan. This is basically a quotation of Rashi. What Moshe Rabbeinu did was he dismantled it each and every day. Each day Moshe Rabbeinu built it, he dismantled it every day, until the Shekhinah rested. In other words, every day that he was dismantling and putting back, the Shekhinah still did not rest in it. So the people were humiliated. And they said to Moshe Rabbeinu, all the toil, all the amal, and all the toil that we toiled was only for the Shekhinah. It was only that the Shekhinah should come and dwell amongst us. And that we should see that the sin of the Chet of the Egel HaZahav, the golden calf, was forgiven from us. What did Moshe Rabbeinu say? Moshe Rabbeinu said, Zeh hadavar asher tziva Adonai ta'asu ve'ira lechem kevod Adonai. Now she continues and he says that what Moshe Rabbeinu was saying also was that Aaron, my brother, is more worthy than I am. Now through his korbanot and through his avodah in the Mishkan, the Shekhinah will rest upon you. And then you will know that Hashem has chosen you. So in other words, the Shekhinah didn't rest yet at that time. The Bnei Israel were worried. Moshe Rabbeinu says, don't worry about it. 7 days that I did the korbanot is not enough. It's not going to last at that time. I'm not Aharon. The real avodah is done by Aaron HaKohen in the Mishkan. So through my korbanot, the Shekhinah still did not rest. But through his korbanot, that Aaron HaKohen will bring, then the Shekhinah will rest amongst you. And then you'll see that Hashem had chosen you. And yes, indeed, Shekhinah came down after at that time, and the Shemini Yom Shemini Lemiluim, the Shekhinah visibly descends upon the Mishkan, and Ve'erach Kavod Hashem, that everybody saw the Kavod Hashem al Kol Ha'am. The whole nation saw Kavod Hashem. The Gemara Masechet Shabbat Daf Pezayin Mubet explains that the day that we're referring to over here, which is Rosh Chodesh Nisan, that we're referring to in past Aliyah and also today's Aliyah, which was Rosh Chodesh Nisan, was a very unique day, in the sense that there were much greatness that followed in that day. And the words of the Gemara is that that day got 10 ketarim, 10 crowns were given to that day. And it's not 10 literal crowns, but the Gemara explains, and this is what it says. Rishon le'ma'aseh bereshit. That day was a crown. What's a crown? A crown sits on the top of the head of the king. It's like the Rosh, but it's not just the Rosh, it's above the Rosh. It's above the head. It's like above the head. It's even higher. So, but you can call it the head. The crown is like the head of the body. It's the top of the body. And so to this day, Rosh Chodesh Nisan, that Rosh Chodesh Nisan had 10 crowns. Rishon le'ma'aseh bereshit. It was a Sunday. It was Yom Rishon LaShavua. Therefore, it's the first day of creation. That wasn't the day that the world was created. But just like the world was created on Yom Rishon, this day of the Shemini Lemiluim, Yom HaShemini, the day that we're referring to over here, Vahi Yom HaShemini, was on a Sunday. So that's what she says. Rishon le'ma'aseh bereshit is a quotation again in the Gemara Masechet Shabbat Pezayin. Rishon le'Nesiim. Number 2 is the first time that the Nesiim brought a korban. In other words, the Nesiim, we go through, we've seen Parashat Naso, all the Nisi'im, they brought the korbanot. When did that happen? That was on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. The first one that brought it was Nachshon ben Aminadav. We'll speak about it more later on. That's Nachshon ben Aminadav, and the korban that he brought on this first day. That was the first day of the Nisim as well. Number 3, Rishon HaKehuna. That was the first day that the actual Kohanim became Kohanim. That was the first day that the Kohanim worked in the Beit HaMikdash. So the first, even though Moshe Rabbeinu was known to be the Kohen Gadol for the 7 days, but it wasn't really their true Kehuna. The true Kehuna was really given to Aaron HaKohen, and that happened on this first day when the true Kohanim began working and serving in the Mishkan. Number 4, Rishon LaAvodah. First day that the true Avodah was done. Yes, Moshe Rabbeinu served in the Mishkan for the first week, but that wasn't the Avodah of the Kohanim, the public Avodah, let's call it. That was the Avodah done by Moshe Rabbeinu himself as a one-time thing. Number 5, Rishon Lidat HaEsh. It was the first day that the Ish came down, the fire came down from Shamayim. Number 6 is Rishon Achilat Kodashim. It was the first day that they ate the holy foods, the Kodashim. Rishon Lishkon Shechina. Number 7 was the first day for Hashem Shechina, divine presence, to come down amongst Am Yisrael. Number 8, Rishon Levarechet Yisrael. It was the first day that they blessed, as we saw that Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron Kohen, they blessed the nation. Aaron Kohen, of course, was Bekat Kohanim, and Aaron and Moshe blessed them. Sh'tishre Shechina Ma'aseh Yedechem. Rishon Leisur Habamot. Number 9 is that it was the first day that was asur to bring a korban on a personal mizbeach. They had like the private altars that they would make. That was called a bama. That was mutar before the Mishkan was in use. And later in Am Yisrael, there was times in history it was also mutar, but at this point it was asur. Rishon Leisur Habamot. And last was Rishon LaChodashim. It's the first of the months, as we know that the first month is Nisan. That was this day. So when we said that they got 10 crowns, it means that this special day of Rosh Chodesh Nisan, of the Yom Shmini Miluim, was a day that was crowned with 10 crowns.